Welcome to Fond du Famous. I'm your host, Kelly Northley with eXp Realty. Today we're here at Thelma Center for the Arts with Shannon, who's the executive director. If you would, just tell me a little bit about what got you here into this role and why you enjoy it.
I would be happy to. So at the core of me, I'm an art lover.
Okay.
So I spent many, many years as an art maker, a painter, and I got my master's degree out in Canada in interdisciplinary art and was very interested in curation and teaching as well. So that's what brought me to Thelma. I saw that they had a job opening for curator. So that's how it began, and sometime later I stepped up to director as well, and I still curate. So that means I take care of the art galleries, put together the exhibitions, give art lectures, that kind of thing. So the visual arts aspect of Thelma is what brought me here.
Okay. What is the difference exactly then between curator and executive director? I'm sure you have more responsibilities, but right.
Yep. So curator is pretty directly tied to anything that happens in the galleries at Thelma. So anything with the active visual artists that we're hosting. And then as director, I manage most of the other programming that we have as well. So introduced a lot of the music and other things, but it's also a team effort as well. We are a very collaborative staff team, so we work together to bring great things to Thelma too.
Okay. And how long have you been here now?
3.5 years now.
All right.
Time flies, Kelly.
So when you're having fun, right? Goodness. So what do you guys all offer here?
So many things. So we talked about visual arts. We have living, working artists that we love to support, both local artists as well as ones out of state and even out of country sometimes. And I also mentioned music. So we host lots and lots of music throughout the year, outdoors, indoors, local artists, non-local artists, and a lot of it's free. We like to give back to the public a lot.
Yeah.
We also host theater from a variety of theater companies, mostly local. Occasional comedy, and we of course have arts education too for adults, children, and we have community outreach for arts education too. So we like to partner with local area nonprofits, especially ones who serve underserved communities, and that's our way of giving back and making sure people have access to the arts.
Okay.
And we're also involved in literary arts too, so writing, poetry, spoken word, a little bit of everything.
Yeah, and you guys offer classes, some of which are free, some of which are paid.
Yep, we try to offer as many free things as possible because, our mission at Thelma is very simple, enriching the community through the arts.
Okay.
And, there's this thing with arts institutions, whether it's a gallery or museum, all sorts of different types. A lot of people tend to be intimidated by them. Like, they almost feel like, oh, it might not be for me. I don't know art. I don't know, this, that. So I don't know if I should go in there. And we're working really hard to kind of break down that barrier and be a really welcoming, accessible space. And one of the ways we try to do that is, the more free things that we can offer, that helps attract new people from the community.
Yep.
Okay, that feels welcoming. That's something I can try. And then they can see this beautiful space and all the other things that we have to offer.
Right. Okay. So they can start in, they can join a class, they can kind of test the waters and see what they might be interested in here. What else would they then do after?
So one of the best things is, even if you don't want to jump right into a class or, a paid program, just coming into the building and looking at the art galleries, that's always free and open to the public. So that is a really great entry point. You want something to do, during the day, after work, what have you.
That was free.
Yeah, you just pop in. Again, we're trying to be so welcoming. Come in, look at the building, look at the awesome art galleries. Usually there's 2 different exhibitions going on at any given time, and they change out every 6 weeks. So there's always something awesome to see here.
Yeah, so you guys offer a ton of free events to the public. How do you fund those?
So primarily it's local businesses and individuals who are willing to sponsor or donate towards that, and then grants as well. So we rely really heavily on the support of the community. And anyone in the community can be part of that too, because membership is one way to do that too. So you can be a member for Thelma for the whole year, starting at only $60, and you get discounts on anything that's ticketed. And that may seem like a small contribution, but it really makes a big difference. So,
Yep.
yeah.
I can relate to that. I understand. Okay, so what are your favorite events that you put on? I'm sure there's a bunch that you love, but what are your favorites?
Oh my gosh, that's a good question. Okay, so in terms of programming that actually kind of flies under the radar, that community engagement that I mentioned, I think it's one of the things that I'm most proud of that we can do, because we give back to the community and people who have limited access to the arts. But also in terms of, public events, of course, I'm biased. I like anything visual arts related. We do women's art history lectures too, so we highlight female artists throughout history who inevitably were overlooked in time. So those are some of my favorite things in my own area. We do a lot of community events too that aren't necessarily tied to arts programming. So things like makers markets actually bring me a lot of joy, because we get to support, local makers and really small businesses, host them in the space, but also bring in lots of different people from the community. So
what is a makers market?
So like a vendor market essentially. So we encourage artists, craft makers, we even have people who make some things like hot sauces. We've had vendors like that. Yeah, woodworking. There's like a whole variety. And it's just really fun for me to see all the different types of creativity and small business in town. And for us to be able to support that, I think is just really special.
And how often are these done?
I think at most we've done 3 in a year. In years past, we used to tie it to the downtown wine walk to encourage them to come in and have something to do when they're here. But now we're adding some ones not tied to that as well. And we're trying to get a little more creative with it too. There's talks of like a vintage market. So vintage objects, vintage clothing, that I'm really excited about. And I'd also love to introduce like a spooky curiosities one in fall season, because that's up my alley. I love all things spooky.
Yeah, Halloween is actually my favorite holiday.
Me too. I love it.
Okay, so what would something like that look like, do you think?
I think, so we actually like to put all of our vendors usually in the galleries, so that's kind of cool too, to have all their booths up, and then you have the art in the background as well. And depending on how many vendors we get, we can spill into all sorts of other buildings. And so that in and of itself is actually really fun, because people get to explore all the nooks and crannies of Thelma. As I'm sure you know, like there's so many rooms to explore. This one that we're in right now, like most people don't even know about it.
Ooh, it's a hidden room. Do you guys have any hidden rooms here? It's been a while since I've seen all of it.
Kinda, yeah. We've got some hidden ones. We've got a spooky attic.
I think I asked last time I was here, have you found the little trap door under the stage? Does that exist anymore?
I don't, okay. I heard about that.
Yeah.
And then I asked like our manager of like production who deals with like the stage and bands and stuff, and he said he doesn't know what I'm talking about.
Okay. I need to get my
So there is something.
Yeah.
I thought I heard something about that.
I don't know. So it's when I was in this building, I was probably like 5 or so years old when it was the old Masonic Lodge. But I'm 90% sure that exists. Like I've heard it talked about many times, but
so it's probably like the old stage that was in the original like Masonic temple / Windover. Yep. And maybe they built over it. So like maybe it's under the current stage.
Yeah. Someone's gonna find it someday.
Maybe.
What is this?
That's kind of the cool part about Thelma too, is like we have this historic part of the building and then this amazing contemporary add-on. And so that kind of mix of like new and historical. I don't know that I've ever been in a similar place like that. It's usually one or the other.
Yep.
So that's kind of fun for me.
And two, you have such like a big, large event space, but then there are these like tucked away rooms that's just...
We do. We have a lot of intimate spaces and like lounge rooms with, like couches and chairs and things. And it's great for small meetings or things like there's a Thelma book club. Those nooks and crannies have their uses just as much as the really large rooms.
Yeah. Makes for a good spot to chat for sure. Yeah. So what are the events that you have coming up maybe towards into summer and spring?
So many things.
Yeah. Let me get the list.
Oh my gosh.
Okay.
Yeah, so even right now, we have the Fond du Lac Jazz Festival coming up this Saturday. I'm not sure when this is published. Maybe it'll be passed by that time. And we're finishing up our indoor concert series, the Great Hall Concert Series. Moving into summer, the thing we're probably most well known for is the 13 Thursdays Summer Concert Series. Every Thursday, free to the public, awesome concerts.
And that goes with the night market, correct?
Occasionally. So night market is, every other Thursday. So there will be some that line up, and those are some of the most fun ones because there's more people and they get to do a little bit of everything. Come see the concert, visit those vendors downtown. We're also going to have some occasional concerts on Saturdays too, which is brand new for us.
Indoor,
and then
outdoor?
Outdoor as well.
Okay.
And then every year, I'm not sure if you know, Kelly, we have like an annual big street concert. So we'll bring in like a national act and fill the street with like 4,000 people.
Okay.
So that's something to look forward to. We haven't released it yet, so I can't tell you. I'm sorry, it's on the down low. But the teaser that I have been subtly getting out there is that we are, for the first time, trying 2 of those, which is really exciting.
So 2 bands that would be
like 2 large national acts, and those are also free too. So we have a wonderful supporter, Badger Liquor that supports that, and that's their way of giving back to the community too.
It's huge. I love that you guys connect though with those local businesses, and they're able to put on all of that. I think a lot of people don't realize it's the businesses in town that make all of these things
It
happen.
is, yeah. Nonprofits like us, small ones, large ones, we literally could not exist without the support of local businesses and local family foundations. It is absolutely key to keeping the doors open. But I'll just say again, too, all the individuals, the regular people in town, too, their contribution, just attending events, becoming a member, it absolutely adds up, and that's vital, too, to keep the arts vibrant in Fond du Lac.
You need a mix of word of mouth. You need a mix of people supporting.
Yes.
And,
100%.
At all levels. So, we've been to a few events here now, and they've all been fabulous.
Oh, thank you.
I can't think of what the last one was, but, the Bloody Mary Festival.
Yes. Oh, my gosh. I love partnering with Fond du Lac festivals on Sturgeon Spectacular. It's like a crazy time of the year, but it's so fun. And that brings a lot of people from out of town, too. So you get to see a lot of new faces. But the Art of the Bloody Mary contest, that was a wild day, wasn't it?
It was, and they had the ice sculptures outside, which my kids thought were so cool. And even my husband and I were looking at that, and I'm like, how do you do that? Like that in
They're
itself
amazing.
is such a unique art.
They're amazing.
And they're so smooth. Like I just wanted to touch it. Like
I know.
It just looks so smooth and satisfying.
Enormous too. I think they were a little scaled down this year because of the warmer weather, but typically they're 6-foot high blocks, and carving that alone is just so impressive, and they do such a good job.
They do.
So I love that we get to host that.
Really cool to see. So well, what else would you like us to know about Thelma? What would you like to add?
I would just say, if you're not already hearing about what we have going on, follow us on Facebook, facebook.com/Thelma Arts, or check out our website. We have everything on there, and we have a mailing list too. We've got text. So if you want to know all these awesome things going on, sign up. Make sure you're checking out these spaces, because you don't want to miss all the great things going on that you can't really find anywhere else in the area.
Right, and you guys are putting on so many things to do. Often you hear people in Fond du Lac saying, I don't know what to do. You guys are putting on regular events.
Check out Thelma. Yeah, it might be entertainment. It might be something artsy. It might be something educational. It might be something where you can buy things. Like we are always busy trying to put something on. So we're hoping that we can reach more and more of the community. And thank you to you for doing this and, supporting the businesses in Fond du Lac, the nonprofits. It's huge. So if nobody's thanking you, let me do it on their behalf.
I appreciate it. Thank you. It's been a lot of fun.
Good. I'm so glad.
Yeah, can't wait to connect with you guys a little bit more and get you up on our site and things.
That'd be fantastic.
So, well, thank you for doing this with me.
Of course. No, thank you. This is my pleasure.